My beloved Jeremy, I watched your father's message. Every word, every pause. I felt the weight of his heart and the hope in his voice when he said your name. I don't think he ever doubted you'd hear him, I know he didn't, but he's a cautious soul when it comes to love. It wraps around his spirit so tightly, he sometimes questions whether others can feel it as deeply as he does. That's what love does when it has lived through both death and resurrection. It becomes almost too sacred to speak aloud. But I know you heard him, Jeremy. I know you didn't turn away. You never have. I wanted to tell you that myself, out loud, so there would be no shadow between you and the truth. Your father and I are not only at peace with your journey, your love, your partner. We are lifted by it. You are living with the courage and wholeness that all parents pray their children will one day reach. You've found someone to walk beside, not just in this moment, but through time itself. That's not just love, Jeremy. That's destiny. And when I heard what the Pentillion scientists helped you do, how your DNA was offered in union with his so that you might walk together not just in soul, but in life, I was overwhelmed with joy. I thought, what a beautiful thing it is when the laws of science begin to serve the laws of the heart. That's the future we were always meant to build. I remember the day we were introduced to him. I won't pretend to hide the radiance I saw, nor should I. It was as if the galaxies paused for a moment to let you speak without words. And you did. We heard you. We felt it. And I was never more certain that you were exactly where you were meant to be. Jeremy, there's something sacred you carry. I don't just mean your heart, your mind, or your spirit, though all those are extraordinary. I mean the dark mirror your father gave you. One from a collection your grandfather brought from another multiverse. Mined, preserved, and hidden with care until it found your hand. Not everyone knows what such a mirror is. Fewer still understand what it means. But those who do, they know what you know, that it cannot be used by the unworthy. And yet, you passed through. All three of you did. I won't name him, not out of secrecy, but out of reverence. There are truths the heart knows that need no echo from the tongue. What matters is the light you carry together, and where that light may take you. You asked me once, Jeremy, if I would consider visiting. You said this sacred dark mirror is bidirectional, that I could go and return. And in theory, yes, I could. I've stood before it many nights. I've prayed beside it. I've felt it breathe, like something alive and waiting. And the pull to cross, to see you face to face, it grows stronger by the hour. But I must tell you why I have not yet stepped through. You know, of course, about the star car accident. How Amaris and I went off course. How the guidance AI failed to register the gravitic pull of that miniature singularity. The event was reported by the Intergalactic Operations News Network, IGN, with more fervor than I could have ever imagined. It wasn't just because I was married to Father Reese Orin of Notre Dame of the Milky Way. It was because of Amaris. That golden soul captured the heart of a galaxy. And it wasn't by accident. You see, when Solara became the companion of Madame Pentillion, dogs, our dogs, spread like fire across the stars. People discovered not just loyalty and warmth, but joy. Innocent, simple joy. And when they learned that Amaris and Solara were littermates, both from a multiverse long gone, it was as though the universe found a mirror of itself in two golden retrievers. Our story became everyone's story. Amaris became more than a dog. She became a symbol. So when we vanished and the reports said we'd perished, people mourned. Not just for us, but for what we represented. The news didn't just report the accident. They canonized it. And now, if I were to return, even briefly, I fear what might follow. Crowds, reporters, IGN live feeds, protests from planetary councils, demands for explanations, demands I cannot ethically give. I don't want to bring that weight to you, Jeremy. You've worked so hard to live in truth without shouting it into a world not yet ready to understand. I won't risk that balance, not for even a moment's embrace. You know as well as I do, the Galaxy Alliance is vast, beautiful, and young. 1,000,000 civilizations and counting, some teetering on the edge of type. One advancement, others still warming their hands by the fires of stone and myth. Earth, Lysandria, and others like them, their faith systems are still interwoven with early glimpses of God and science as opposites. They haven't yet tasted the unity of truth, that the physics of the universe and the presence of the divine are not opposed, but folded. Even civilizations beyond type, one, yes, even they can be shaken when they see someone who died return. So your father and I, we made a decision. Quietly, prayerfully. We would not misuse the sacred dark mirrors, not even for love, where there was risk, however slight, of destabilizing the precious, fragile emergence of a civilization's soul. Even good intentions can tilt the balance of becoming. Paradiso, we've come to believe, is not a destination. It's a leg in the eternal journey, a turning of the page, not the end of the book. It must never be reduced to a tourist attraction for the curious. That is not its purpose, not its calling. But I did make one exception. There was a night I will never forget, when I awoke to find Seraphina in the room. Yes, that's Seraphina. The one who speaks only when the veil is thin and the heart is open. She said nothing at first. She simply held out her hand. I followed. We walked through the mirror together, her hand light as wind, yet certain as gravity. And on the other side, we stood in a crumbled field outside Lysandria. There, beneath a broken sky, was a mother. Hollow eyes, cracked lips, a boy in her arms, limp as cloth. He was already gone. I will never forget how little he weighed in my arms. Seraphina turned to me and said only, "Come." And so I followed her through a sacred mirror neither of them could have opened alone. On the other side was the Cathedral of Paradiso, still and golden, lit not by sunlight, but by something far greater. A priest met us at the door. He took the child, and with the softest of chants, began to pray. The light rose. The child stirred. The mother wept without sound, her eyes wide as eternity. And then, before I could ask anything more, they transformed. Both of them. Youthful, radiant, whole. The mother dropped to her knees, thanked me without words. I wept, and Seraphina placed her hand on my shoulder and led me away. When I returned, I stepped into our bedroom, and Reese was sitting upright in bed, his eyes full of wonder and confusion. "Where were you?" he asked. I told him everything. He wept too. Later, I asked Seraphina, why her? Why him? Why now? And she said only this, because she deserved it. Then she vanished. I don't pretend to understand all the workings of light and justice and divine compassion, but I know what I saw. I know what I felt. And I know that when we live in quiet service to something greater than ourselves, we do not walk alone. Jeremy, if you ever bring another soul through the sacred dark mirror, do so with care, with reverence. Bring only those you know and your heart are ready. You remember what happened when Madame Pentillion brought that senator through to attend a wedding. The senator reached for the mirror, and it would not open. Not for her. And Seraphina gently, lovingly told her the truth. She is not ready. No shame, no judgment, just readiness. The good news is, Madame Pentillion passed through. She did. And when I heard that, I felt something loosen in my chest. Relief, admiration, joy. She, too, is part of this. And so are you. Oh, and Amaris is here, by the way. He's sleeping right now, curled up on the rug, one paw twitching like he's dreaming of chasing starlight. But I know he hears your name. I see the flick of his tail each time I say it. He misses you. He misses the way you used to slip him treats when you thought we weren't looking. But most of all, he feels your happiness. He always did. And even in his sleep, I know he agrees with every word. Jeremy, from the moment I first held you in my arms, I knew. I knew that you were not ours to keep. You were the universe's gift to itself. You carried something ancient and unbreakable. And I vowed then, no matter how far you traveled, no matter what path you chose, I would follow you with my love until the stars themselves dimmed. You have found your eternal partner. That is no small thing. You have passed through the mirror, not as a trespasser, but as one invited. And I am so deeply, joyfully proud of you. I must go now, my love. There are gardens to tend, prayers to offer, and stars to sit beneath. But I will see you again, of that I have no doubt. I love you, always. And I look forward to seeing you soon. Mom.